For me, if you go there and you have the courage to go and take it, you're already, for me, someone that, has the audacity and the gumption to go and take it. But, like I said, we're seeing Mikel Arteta right now. It was a tough final, not a lot in it, let's all be honest. Paris Saint-Germain, you have to talk about Paris Saint-Germain and congratulate them with the way they won. However they won, they find a way to do it. Their fans were singing the whole night, never stopped singing, always behind them. And then we're looking at it again. Yeah, it's going to hurt for a little while, but I have to say that I'm still proud of this team and what they've done this year. But it's got to hurt. It's got to hurt because if not, how are you going to go through the fact that it's important to win the Champions League? It can't be a matter of it's okay because we won the league. You wanted to win tonight. You played against a team that have a lot of resources in terms of how they go about games, how they fight, how they go back into the game.
Back to the Puskás Arena here in Budapest, and a disappointed Thierry Henry who just watched his Arsenal lose on penalties. The worst way to lose one of these finals, Thierry. Yeah,
because you were close, but if you analyze the final properly, there wasn't much in it. You knew how Arsenal was going to approach the game, especially after they scored, even more so. And then Paris Saint-Germain was trying to find a way, and you saw at the end they couldn't. They went back in the game with a penalty, but they were trying to push. And overall, if you look at the situation, the shot of Vitinha towards the end, the deflected shot also by
Barcola's chance.
Barcola not being able to push the ball straight, if not it's a 1v1. But other than that, there was not a lot of stuff created. It's always difficult to lose on penalty, yeah, obviously.
It's just a horrible way though, isn't it? We build up, we're doing the analysis before the game, how's the game going to go? We know Arsenal are going to be good defensively, we've said that. PSG, they was good in spells, a lot of possession, but couldn't break Arsenal down. But then to lose it on a penalty shootout, that is devastating stuff. That's talking about the fine margins in football, which no matter who you support, you have to feel for. Even if it would have been PSG, you would have to feel, but I feel for the Arsenal today because defensively, I thought that as a group, they were outstanding.
Yeah, he's right, you have to feel for them. You also have to celebrate PSG who held their nerve in a moment like that, Jamie.
Yeah, of course, and for a long time it didn't look like they were going to break them down. They still didn't create a lot of chances in the game. I don't think Ryan made a save. And I go back to something that happened in the first half. I mean, PSG were dominating the game, but there was a situation with Kai Havertz just before half-time, and it looked like it opened up, and someone comes across, makes a great block, keeps it at 1-0. But I would say, I think Arsenal tonight have lost on penalties, but they've taken the best team in the world over 120 minutes. Because, to me, there is a golfing clash between the two teams when you look at the attacking players on the pitch to start with. So, for a team, actually, Arsenal, and this kind of happened before, they haven't lost a game in the Champions League. They haven't lost one game, and they don't end up with a trophy. So when you think about small details, you're talking about the penalties, rightly so. To go through a Champions League campaign, not losing the game is absolutely magnificent, and so unlucky to come out on the wrong side of it.
You've been in this situation, Thierry, where you're in a Champions League final and with Arsenal and you come out on the wrong side of it. Just how long did it take you to process that emotionally?
At the very beginning, quickly, because we had to go to the World Cup with France in 2006. You have to reprogram yourself to make sure that you don't think about it. And then when you go back and you start to think that you lost the Champions League final, obviously, with the club after, obviously, after when I left Arsenal, I became an Arsenal supporter. Then it becomes more heavy, obviously, because you remember final that you lose. I'm sure, Jamie, the same with you. But at the moment that I lost it with the Arsenal, I was thinking straight away I need to concentrate because the World Cup was coming. I had to make that switch. If not, you can't stay. You can't stay on that. But like I said, people don't like to embrace failure, and this is not failure. I will be honest. That's a great season for Arsenal Football Club. You came short against an outstanding team. You pushed them all the way. They didn't open you up that much. But failure helps you win at one point. So make sure you feel it. And don't keep it too much, but we will be back.
Yeah, overriding emotions are that we're devastated that we've lost the Champions League final. Penalty shootouts are a lottery. You know, you either win them or you lose them, and tonight we was on the losing end of that. But, you know, that doesn't define us. This season from start to finish, we started in July in Singapore. we're now coming up to July again, and the season's just done, our 63rd game in all competitions. So look, we're proud of each other. We're proud of how far we've come. To get the Premier League over the line was a dream come true, and to do this tonight would have been extra special. It wasn't meant to be, that's football. We're gutted, but look, we move on. There's been so many top players who've taken so many years to win their first Champions League, and this is the way it is, you know. Tonight we've lost. We're going to take that moving forward and try and use these emotions and feelings to go on to try and win this competition in the future, because that's the feeling that we felt on the pitch, you know, seeing that trophy, seeing them lift it. We want that success, so we'll be back for sure. Yeah, I think so, for sure. I think my first season with Arsenal, we went out in the quarters. My second season, we lost in the semi. Tonight, we've lost in a final, and it's the same with the Premier League. You know, it was 3 years of coming second to now win one was incredible. Can't describe the feeling of winning that. But now in the Champions League, to lose a final, I've got that feeling of wanting to come back and lift that trophy. So look, I'm sure we'll be back. Like I said, this club's got really exciting times coming. It's on an upward trajectory. Over the last few years after winning the league, we're going to go again next year. We're going to be ready. And yeah, you know, we stick together and we keep fighting, because yeah, that's what we want to do. Thanks, guys.
No, it's pretty flat at the moment. Everyone is really disappointed. When you're that close to win this one as well, which would have been incredible, it's tough to take. So yeah, everyone is really disappointed, and it's tough to take, as I said. But at the same time, we know what we've done this season. We've achieved something incredible, and we were so close to doing it even better today. Yeah, at the moment disappointed, but still we got to see the bigger picture and remember all the good stuff as well. Nah, I think at the moment it's tough to take, because you wanted to win it so much. We all wanted to win it. Obviously, coming from winning the Premier League, which was amazing, and we had another great opportunity here today, and I felt like we were really close. I thought, of course, getting the first goal and then also the game after, I felt like we controlled everything really well. They had the ball a lot, but they didn't create a lot of chances. So, and then in the end, penalties. Yeah, it's a tough way to lose. So yeah, that's tough to take. But also we've done something incredible, like I said. So yeah, we got to try to see the bigger picture.
Necessary.
Nasa Khalifa is just alongside us as well.
Good to see you again. Well done.
Great to see you. Congratulations. Is he staying with us or is he going to go? Oh no, just wants to give Steven Gerrard a cuddle. Quick, come, everyone stay with us, and you just take a mic. First of all, congratulations. What an incredible achievement for you and your side. We interviewed Luis Enrique, and one of the first things he said was, we have to go again in the market, we have to refresh. What are your thoughts on that? Are you going to back him?
Yeah, I mean, today it's amazing history day. It's, I mean, you know, our favorite days in my life now today, 30th of May and 31st of May. Last year, back-to-back, something no easy. Here, the legend, he knows how difficult Champions League, and I'm so honored to, so proud of the team, of the coach, of the staff, of our fans. Everybody doubted again this year that, you know, we didn't start well, but thanks God that, you know, we made it, and we believe in the players and we believe in our staff.
Tell us a bit about your manager. He's just been on a list of names with Bob Paisley, with Carlo Ancelotti. How special is Luis Enrique?
Honestly, you know, I would thank all the managers, ex-managers who train Paris Saint-Germain, but he's very, very special. As a coach, as a human being, as a person, he's fantastic. Honestly, he's the best coach in the world, and he done amazing job with the team, who's, you know, with the young team, you know the story. But also I would like to thank all the players, honestly, who played for Paris Saint-Germain, who wear the jersey of Paris Saint-Germain. This is also for them. We never, everybody give to this project. So we, thanks to them, everybody.
Yeah. Now, so you waited so long for one Champions League, and now you've had two back-to-back. Can you believe it?
Amazing. You know, I told my guys after first half, we're going to win. I promise you. I felt it before the match. I know that the team, I saw it in their eyes. I know it was tough, but this win is not for Paris Saint-Germain, for the great football. For the football, people want to watch. That's the football. And bad luck to Arsenal. Great team, you know, a fantastic team. and all the best. Big respect
Arsenal 4-3 on penalties. Only Real Madrid had done it before, retained the Champions League title. PSG adding their name to that record. Arsenal still waiting then for that first ever win in the Champions League final. For more on this, let's welcome in Stuart Robson joins us, as does Jurgen Klinsmann. Overall, Craig, not a final that will live long in the memory for neutrals, but will, of course, for PSG.
Yeah, back to back, dominated the game. Weren't as creative as they normally are, but that's a lot down to Arsenal, who were very defensive, particularly after they scored. So yeah, it wasn't that great final, and both teams were tired in the end in extra time. You could see that, and that's understandable. But you saw that graphic there just before we came back in with the stats in the game, and how you can argue that PSG weren't the better side. It seems it didn't matter what country you were in, whether you were in the UK or whether you were here. It was Arsenal TV. And a lot of credit to them for defending the way they did. But let's lay it out on the table. When they scored after 6 minutes, they tried to defend their way to the 90th minute. Had it been PSG who scored after 6 minutes, they would have carried on attacking and probing and trying to win the game. And that's the contrast in how these two teams approach not only the final, but approach football. PSG are very progressive at the moment. And yes, Arsenal have won the Premier League. But PSG are very progressive. They want to probe and press and attack and continually try and use their guile and their skill. And Arsenal regressed into trying to defend their way through, 84 minutes plus injury time? And that's tough to do. I mean, they almost pulled it off, but that's tough to do. So yeah, I mean, a valiant effort from Arsenal. But in terms of a football game, PSG by far, even not at their best, by far the better of these two sides.
It was so reminiscent of the Euros final a few years ago in Wembley between England and Italy, where England go up early, and instead of taking a step forward and continue to press Italy, they took a step back. And it's not surprising that Arsenal took a step back. We were watching the game, and as a goal goes in from Kai Havertz, and it was a great finish from Kai Havertz, we all said to ourselves, oh boy, here we go. Because instead of trying to figure out how to break down PSG, who were vulnerable defensively, no, they decided to take a step back and give all the initiative to PSG, who were not great, who were very slow in their possession, who kept the possession of the ball in front of Arsenal and never really probed in behind, certainly not in the first half. And Arsenal were unable to figure out that, you know what? If we take a few chances going forward, we can trouble this back line. Anytime that Arsenal put a ball in between the two center backs of PSG, they allowed the ball to bounce. William Pacho didn't know what to do. Marquinhos was late. And it felt like there was an opportunity to be created. But Arsenal chose not to test that, not to try to expose the vulnerabilities of PSG. They decided to go back to what they think they do best, which is defending. And it has proven to be the case in the Premier League. It did not prove to be the case today. Again, to Craig's point, they almost got there, but almost doesn't count. In the end, Arsenal didn't take a step forward when there was a chance to do that. And in giving the initiative to PSG, you run a risk. They were punished because of it.
Jurgen?
Yeah, I think we all hoped, after the early goal from Kai Havertz, this will be an attacking-minded match, because now obviously PSG has to go at them and hopefully Arsenal keeps with it, and goes for a second goal as well. So, but then the more the game went on, it didn't happen. Arsenal decided just to be very, very conservative and first and foremost to defend and just wait maybe for here and there a small opportunity. They didn't have a clear opportunity anymore the whole game through. And yes, they played defensively well. They didn't give too many clear chances to PSG. I mean, there was maybe the post that Kvaratskhelia hit in the second half, and also the 2-3 other occasions, but never really chances that you thought, okay, that had to be a goal. It had to be a goal. But I don't think that in a game where you then go into extra time and then obviously you go into penalty shootout where the margin is so little, that this game plan will work out. And as we saw, the game plan from Arteta then didn't work out. And you give away a Champions League title, unfortunately, in a way that when you look at it now, you watch that game over again, which the coaches will do, then you probably tell yourself that you should have been a little bit more attacking minded. You should have tried more to go for the second goal. And you have the players to do that. You have the players that could really hurt Paris Saint-Germain. But they were pretty much not in action anymore after Kai Havertz's early goal. And therefore, I really think, as you said, PSG deserves this second title in a row. They've done more for the game overall, and huge compliment to them.
Robbo?
Well, first of all, Arsenal, when they went back to the defensive shape, they were allowed to go back into defensive shape because PSG didn't pass the ball into the front areas enough. They didn't get enough crosses into the box. And when they did get crosses into the box, they had nobody in there because Dembele was going here, there and everywhere. Fabian Ruiz was trying to make runs. So it made it fairly easy for Arsenal. They played like the 80s. It was a 4-4-2 and the two centre-forwards, or the number 10 and the centre-forward came back a little bit deeper. And when they did get to 1-1, PSG, Arsenal went full 1980s and went long ball. They brought on Gyökeres to play alongside Havertz, and all they did was kick the ball long, hope to win knockdowns and play from there. And yeah, PSG were the better side, but they can play a lot better. It was a bit like Luis Enrique's Spanish side in the European Championships a little while ago when he didn't do particularly well. But they had loads of possession, easy possession, but didn't do enough with it.
Are we all agreed? Jamie, Thierry?
Yeah, that's a penalty.
Yeah, if you were on the show before, you would have heard me say that.
Oh!
Shot fired!
I do apologise that I missed it, but there we go. Okay, so what if Ousmane Dembele stepped up? Confident, wasn't it?
Ballon d'Or winner, full of confidence. And the game changed when he went off, to be honest. They missed that intensity, missed his pacing behind, but it was never in doubt that he was going to score.
It came down to penalties, it could have gone either way. I feel incredibly sorry for Gabriel. I thought he was outstandingly the best player on the pitch today. I mean, his defending was so good, and for him to be the guy who missed the last penalty and actually decided that PSG was winning, I feel really, really sorry for him.
A centre back taking it, Peter?
No,
strange for you?
I don't think you can say that. I think that's maybe a bit of an insult, because of course he can kick a ball. I mean, this is a top player, but that is pressure, and it's only pressure. He knows that he has got to score. If he doesn't score, PSG will win. And what you try to do there, because obviously Safonov is a really good penalty goalkeeper, what you try to do there is to put it into the net of the goal.
For it to end.
Yeah, it's very tough to accept when you are so consistent in the competition all the way to the final, and at the end you lose the trophy on penalty kicks, so it's a difficult one.
In the game itself, there was a moment in extra time, the penalty shout on Noni Madueke. Do you think that should have been a penalty?
I watch it back and it can easily be a penalty, especially we see the penalty that they give me in the competition this season. The referees made that decision. He made a different one on the penalty with Mosquera, and yeah, that's an important one.
You've obviously been in to talk to your players. What have you been saying to them?
That I'm so proud of them. I think the season that we have under the circumstances, that just internally we know what we've been through. They're giving us so much joy. It's just a privilege to manage this group of players, this team. I think the way they carry this badge and how much they put into it. We got a big one and we missed on the biggest one.
I'm sure it'll be really tough now, but how do you sort of look back at the rest of this season? Is this another season of progression and success? You've gone quarter-final, semi-final, final in the Champions League?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done it for 22 years, so imagine. And it's the second time in our history that we've done it, so we need to recognize the season that we had. But at the moment, nobody is going to take the pain away from you.
The team that you played today, PSG, took an awful long time to win their first Champions League. Is that maybe something that you can take away from today? They've had to work so hard to win their first one. They've had to work so hard today to beat you on the night.
Yeah, and we know the teams that they had in the past, and they are a superb team. Congratulate them. They are really difficult to play against. That's why they are champions 2 times in a row. And yeah, the individual quality they have, the man they are coach, they are a top team.
And just looking forward now, what's next for this team? How do you now regroup? This, I'm sure, has made you all hungry again to come back here again next year and build on this success.
I think you have to go through the motions, and if you are in pain, go through the pain. If you think you could have done something else, learn from it, and that's it. And reflect on that, and then show the ambition that we want to go again.
Welcome. Congratulations. Incredible. Well done. Very happy for you. Does this feel better than a year ago? Don't worry. Take your time. Does this feel better than a year ago?
Of course, better. Of course, unbelievable. I speak with my assistant manager, Rafael Paul, and I said, do you think we are going to win again? And it was like that. And I think when you put all your energy and you try to give your players and the team the best energy that you can, okay. It doesn't matter about the result. I think we deserve both teams to win that trophy. But if I look at the whole season, I think we are a little bit in advance because we suffer a lot during this competition. We played against the strong teams in Europe and we deserve to win this trophy.
Congrats.
I wanted to ask you, first and foremost, congratulations once again. I wanted to ask you a question. How hard it is to play for Arsenal, against Arsenal, because I saw you trying something at one point, bringing Desiree Doué to try to play in the space behind Bukayo Saka to try to make sure you create that overload in that 4-2-4. And I know it's difficult, but Arsenal made you change so many times little things to be able to beat them.
When you play against a team like Arsenal with Mikel Arteta, they try to defend in the best way. They were lucky because they started with the action and they scored the goal. It was difficult for us, and after that they defend very well, very deep. It's difficult to overcome them. We tried to play more by the sides, but it was very difficult because the players with the energy in the moment that you are losing, they are not very attentive. But I think in the second half we improved a little bit. We created more or less enough chances to score. After the penalty, it was more balanced, and yeah, I think we deserve to win the match.
Mister, you said when you arrived, well, after Kylian left, I don't want to talk about what happened, but you said we will be better, we will be a team, and we will win as a team. Not only you said it, you did it, and you did it again. And I love the fact I was saying just before that people sometimes confuse arrogance and confidence. You know exactly where your team can be when they need to arrive here. So I have to say, what you're doing for French football is outstanding because, since maybe the 90s, we didn't see a team playing like that in Europe with so much confidence.
But I have to say it's a sample idea. You only have to have fun on the pitch. You only have to take the selected players with a lot of quality, individual technical quality, and after that try to play the way we think is the better. And the most important thing for me is when I listen our supporters especially, but even supporters from other teams, that they have fun looking at our team, watching our team playing football. That's the best.
That is true.
So three in a row?
I hope so!
Welcome back, everybody. We have got the player of the match and Champions League winner, two-time Champions League winner, Vitinha, with us tonight. Congratulations. That is just incredible to win it last season and come back and win it a second time. How good does that feel?
You can imagine. It's difficult to say. I think that I said the same thing on the first one, but make back-to-back like this, I think we never thought, but we still worked. And we thought match by match, and the truth is, I think we deserved it. It wasn't in penalties, but if you see the game, I think we were the best team on the pitch.
I was watching the game, speaking to the guys, and you controlled the game in the first half, but you didn't really create too many chances. They were in that deep block. But you, at the start of the second half, I said to Big Meeks, I said, you are a big problem for Arsenal. You started running, the pace of the game stepped up, and you were running through midfield. I thought you were absolutely outstanding and well deserving of the Man of the Match award.
Thank you. I'd have to talk about the team. I did a good match, but like everyone, so I'm really, really happy and thankful for this. But it's really the team. And like you said, they were really close. It was difficult to get in. Most of the passes were lateral because they had a lot of people in the middle. It's difficult when they have two lines like that, most of the time 6 on the back. It's really, really difficult, and sometimes we lose the patience. I think in the second half we had a little bit more space between the lines to go.
What was the message from the manager at half-time?
To not lose the patience. We know that they play one specific way that takes us out of the game. That's what they want. That's what they want. The time they take to everything, to make everything, to the corners, the falls, the goal kick, everything. I'm not criticizing it's their strategy, but it's easy to fall on that, and I think we didn't. And glad that we got the penalty, and I think we controlled the game.
I don't even have a question, but you are sensational. Your football IQ, your first touch, your awareness on the pitch is just mesmerising. You was at Wolves, playing in, playing out. You come to PSG, and your game just gone to a different level. So, congratulations.
Thanks a lot. That's life. That's life. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're not, but you have to take advantage of it.
Wow. Speak to the boss.
Thierry, go ahead.
But it's pretty simple. If you have a coach that understands his brain, then he can play. I'm not having a go at the boss of Wolverhampton, but it's very different. So no. I'm just saying. I remember what you said when Neymar left, Kylian left, Messi left, Donnarumma now. But I'll go back to the before. You said we will be okay, and people were like, "What do you mean we will be okay?" This guy behind you right now, why is he so special? Is it why you said we will be okay? Because of Luis Enrique?
Yeah, I think he's the main character of this team, and he deserves all of this, not just from the incredible coach that it is, but most of all the person he is. I think you have pleasure to work for him, to be coached by him, and I think he's the main character of this team. But the team. I think
he's the conductor, but the show is the team, right?
Nowadays, I think we proved it many times, but I think you can see it. There's a lot of competitive. It's very difficult to play. So if you don't have 11 players that want the same thing in attack and defense, it's difficult.
Sing it loud and proud, Gabby. Never. Whatever the weather. Oh, dearie me. Wowzers. PSG with the Champions League, back-to-back Champions League, knocking Arsenal out. Forever. 4-3 in a penalty shootout. It was another performance in Europe that Arsenal can't get over the line. Their record in Europe is an absolute disgrace. Glorious failure. Again, I'm afraid to say for you, Gooners. It's just not meant to be, Gab. Gab, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, Jason. I mean, we watched the games together, Jason, and you know what won today? Football won.
It's a winner.
Sitting back, parking the bus, defensive tactics, trying to score on the counter-attack every time we try and get a chance. Football won. PSG by far the better team, especially second half. Yeah. And Arsenal, they stunk out the Premier League to win it, and they tried to stink out the Champions League, and they failed.
Totally agree with you, mate. Yeah. They tried to stink their way to the Champions League, and do you know what? You can do that against certain teams, but you can't do that against PSG. And they they landed some punches, Arsenal, but you need to have more. In particular, in that first half, where Arsenal took the lead, go and get the second goal, the game's over.
Yeah.
And they didn't do enough. And I think Arteta and Arsenal fans listening to this, Gabby, I think will reflect on that. They didn't really do enough.
Have a go.
They didn't do enough.
Whenever they try, Pacho and Marquinhos will shake it at the back. Have a go. You don't deserve to win the Champions League playing like that.
But they did. When it was 1-1, he then looks like he's going to take a 4-4-2. He's Havertz upset with goals.
Yep.
But they've gone longer. Caused PSG a lot of problems.
Exactly.
Too little, too late, I'm afraid.
Yeah. You know what, mate? Winning the Premier League, fantastic for Arsenal, but to win European Cups like Nottingham Forest, Celtic, Villa, Chelsea, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, it's not for everyone, mate.
It's not for everyone.
It's not.
And they are the biggest failures in Europe, Arsenal. It's a tough pill to...
Have they won the UEFA Cup or not? They haven't, have they?
Do you know what? Their record in Europe stinks.
No, they haven't even won the UEFA Cup either.
They won the Cup Winners' Cup.
What's that?
It's not even there anymore, mate.
Oh, the Fairs Cup.
The Fairs and
the Cup, yeah.
I'm not even the Fairs Cup, right? They can, but here's the truth.
Yeah, go on,
the truth is, you actually deserve to win the Premier League. You didn't deserve to win the Champions League.
Agreed.
03717 22
Fair.
33 Also, the big news this morning, we'll take calls. I very much doubt we'll get through to Liverpool fans. Slot was sacked earlier today. Not a massive surprise, Gab.
Yeah, I felt it was the right decision because of how poor it's been, and maybe Iriola was looking at maybe signing for maybe Leverkusen or something, so they thought, all right, it's our chance to get him.
But Gooners, it's over to you. And Spurs fans want to phone up as well because this kind of saves Spurs season. I know it saves Chelsea season. Gabby and I were doing a hate watch together. Unbelievable. So you can see, I've got a PSG shirt and a scarf. Gabby's got a PSG shirt on.
Do you reckon they'd still do the parade, or does that dampen the parade? A bit of a tomorrow, isn't it? The parade.
Yeah, it's going to.
Where'd you go from there?
It's going to be a damp squib.
It will, won't it?
Yeah. There'll be people turning up there.
I think 500,000 don't turn up tomorrow, mate. It's not the same feeling, is it, mate?
Well, how many are going to be there? A couple of 100,000, mate.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah. 03717 2233. Let's go and speak to Shawnee, who's a gooner. All right, Shawnee, commiserations.
Good evening, Sean. Unlucky, pal.
All right, matey.
You all right, mate? Is that Cundian and Gabby?
All
right, mate. Yeah, you okay, mate?
Yeah, I'm not an Arsenal fan at all, but it's a shame, innit?
Who do you support?
Mate, I don't want to disclose that, but you can figure it out based on the context. Okay. It couldn't have happened to an Arteta at last penalty, could it? It could not have happened to an Arteta.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to a nice club. Whinge and Cringe FC. They whinge their way. They've done it all season, and they couldn't find a way this particular game. And set pieces, and they've done it well.
Bukayo Saka, Ballon d'Or geezer, he only completed 4 passes. What's that about? He's meant to be up there, isn't he?
I think for me, Sean, as well, I watched the game with Cundy, and we felt the Saka, I thought that was a penalty, especially in the Champions League this season. Those are given. Mascara, second yellow. So they got away with some decisions, Arsenal.
I felt like the commentary as well was very pro that it was possible an Arsenal penalty when Nuno Mendes apparently took Madueke down, but I felt like it was a free kick the other way, if anything.
Yeah, he had his arm round. It's not. That's not a penalty. There's no point in again. The Arsenal fans will phone up and whinge. Let's go and speak to Gabby, who's a gooner. All right, Gabby.
You're right, Gabby.
Gab.
Right.
Commiserations.
You're right, Gab.
Let's have it right, gents. Let's have it right. I've lived on this planet 42 years. I've suffered 7 penalty shootout losses with England. So for us to lose this penalty shootout, no fan in the UK should be revelling. I've supported Palace. I've supported Villa. I've supported Chelsea. I've supported Man United when they've been at finals. Because it's England, Gabby. Something you never did, bruv. You never done anything for England, and nor did Jason.
Gabby, Gabby, have you got YouTube on?
We're PSG fans, mate.
Mate, I'm trying to... It's not letting me see you two now. I've got it on the TV. I'm trying to watch it now.
Gabby?
I've got Steve sat next to me. Listen, I can't argue we didn't deserve to win that, gents. We didn't.